All right, we've got a 2014 CLS 550 4MATIC, for what it's worth, with a stone cold dead battery. So we get the joy of replacing it today. So underneath this blower housing is going to be the battery. This is the primary battery, not the auxiliary one that's located in the trunk. A couple of pretty easy latches here in the front two corners. And just lift this little guy. Pop this out of the way. Okay, there's our trusty dead battery. We've got a vent on the negative terminal side. Little cap on the positive side. Just to show it's dead, we've got three and a half volts. Even with the C-Tech reconditioner, this trusty guy here, about 8.5 hours on the charger, on the trickle charger reconditioner, it wasn't going to charge it. An error came up, so the battery's toast. This is 2023. This battery right here says it's from 2014, so I think it's an original battery. They're supposed to last 3 to 5 years. 9 years is a pretty good run, especially considering it was in Wisconsin for quite a while. So anyway, trusty 10mm socket. We're just going to take off the terminals, pop in the new battery. It's a Diehard H8. Connect the vent, plug the terminals back in, and be good to go. Hopefully. Computer's probably shot, but oh well. Yeah, don't go dropping stuff down there like that. That's probably what that's for. Very genius. So this might be a little bit tricky to get out one-handed. It's 50 to 60 pounds. Yeah, I'm just gonna lift this out with 2 hands. Like I thought, there's a single bolt at the front face of the battery holding a pinch plate. Keeps the battery in place. It's a 13mm socket. I used a small impact drill like this with an extender to reach that and knock it loose. This was barely long enough with the drill wedged way in there. So if you have something longer or you have the chance to buy a longer one, I definitely recommend it. But once it's loose, you can just take this off with a screwdriver. battery's free now. So I'm gonna need 2 hands to get that out because it's about 60 pounds. All right, it comes out pretty easy with 2 hands. Just gonna have to move the positive terminal out of the way. But here's a closer look at that plate. Where this bolt was. This plate just kind of sits here and pushes into the battery. So with that out of the way, the new one should fit right in place. One other thing to mention before you get this far and freak out thinking the battery won't fit. The Mercedes battery's on the top here, and it does have a smaller footprint. But when that battery's in place, there is about 3/4 of an inch on both sides. So the new battery will fit. All right, so the new one does fit. There's a little bit of leeway front to back, but I have it all the way towards the dashboard there. So all we really have to do is slide this pinch plate back into place. Get that guy lined up down in there. So make sure you have thin hands and thin fingers for this. Or you're just not holding the phone while you're doing it. Otherwise, we're just going to connect the vent and I already pulled the tab off of this terminal cover and placed the plug in this side. There's a vent on either side, just depends on where it is for your vehicle. I just connect the terminals and tighten that plate down there and we should be good to go. All right, I got the vent plug on, I got the terminals tightened securely, not overdone. I've got the vent cap in the far side. Just pop this cover back on. This one's not really gonna fit with the new battery. Maybe you can use the old Mercedes one. If you had an OEM battery. Yeah, the OEM cover seems to fit a little bit better. Just because that bulky thing. I'll just put this on the spare and bring it back to the store. Let's fire it up and see if it worked. All right, everything's kicking back on, which is a good sign. This thing wasn't showing any signs of life before. The push to start thing taken out. I think that was the culprit that got me. There we go. Back to life. All right, last thing not to forget is this blower cover here that just kind of pops back into place. Now, these are pretty easy to pop back on. Everything's easier two-handed, of course. It just clips back on. This one you want to hook first. And just like that. Get all your tools out, call it a day. Hope that helps.